Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to talk about another M60 platform that I have been spading recently. During the PLZ event, I ended up spading a lot of vehicles which I had kind of like half spaded because they were like end of the line vehicles or just vehicles that were awful, and decided to go back to them just to kind of get them done and out of the way, and so I could kind of chat about them. Today, we're talking about the CM11. This is a upgraded M60/M48, and it is in the Chinese tech tree, and it is just god-awful. It's a vehicle which, once again, sits on an M60 platform, doesn't have a upgraded engine, doesn't have anything to improve its mobility compared to an 8.0 M60, and now it's just at 9.3 BR. And the biggest issue with the CM11 is that it shares a BR with the ZTZ96, which is faster than it. It also has access to better armor, and also at the same time a much better profile. So actually playing the CM11 just feels awful compared to it in comparison. That does not mean the ZTZ96 should go up in BR. The CM11 should definitely go down in BR. So what you have here is a fat M60 platform. It's 50 tons, they've added a bunch of armor on it. The armor is standard ERA, it doesn't have any kinetic protection, only chemical protection, meaning that it can be sometimes useful against helicopters, but that's really about it. What it does is it puts extra stress on the weapons, on the engine and the transmission, meaning that you can't really canter around the place and you are incredibly slow. It also means that your targeting speed is very poor too, with a 2.8 degrees per second vertical speed and overall a 17 degrees rotation, which overall is not great and once again is very symbolic of the M60 platform. The reverse is 8 kilometers an hour, which is something you'll know and love if you played these M60s before, because it's the only reverse you're going to get. The vehicle does get a 50 cal, which is quite good, and of course the gun is a 105 and it is 2-plane stabilized. The difference between this gun and every other 105 M68 that's in the game, that's the standard M60 gun, is the fact this gets a better reload. Why? I don't know. I'm guessing they just wanted to put this at a different BR compared to the TTS, which is already at 9.0. So the TTS, or the standard M60, or pretty much all standard 105s, have a 8.7 second reload. The CM11 has a base 6.5 second reload. This means that you can actually get this reload pretty far down, and you can be able to output quite a lot of damage with the gun itself, meaning that your top reload is 5 seconds, so the equivalent of every Abrams in the game, which is just hilarious to think about. And then also on top of this reload, which is better than most things at this BR, you also get access to the DM63 round for the 105. This round is given to vehicles which have terrible characteristics, and basically to keep them artificially at a higher BR where they shouldn't be. This means that you have to get to rank 4 modifications to be able to be useful in this machine. And welcome to every M60 at 9.0, 9.3, or even a lot of the 8.7 ones. You are highly reliant on the mods, and if you don't have the modifications, then it feels awful. That's what the CM11 feels like. It has thermals, you don't really need them. It has the smoke grenades, which are nice, but you can't reverse and get out of there. It has the laser rangefinder at rank 4, and then it also has the 2 good mobility mods at rank 4 too. So you just have a vehicle that is just awful until you get the vast majority of the mods on it, and then even then after that, it still doesn't feel good because you don't have any armor, you don't have good targeting speed. You are highly reliant on being able to get the first shot off, and since you're at 9.3 and the meta BRs right now are 10.0, 10.3, you get up tiered a metric ton. Meaning that you face a lot of Abrams, a lot of Leopard 2s, and also 292s, 2 S38s, T80 UDs, a ton of different vehicles that are just there to smash your face in. And there's a reason why, once again, you never see these platforms on the battlefield. They do not fit in the current way that we play the game. And since this used to be an end-of-the-line vehicle with end-of-the-line modification costs, thank God they put stuff like the MBT after it and things like that, and also changed it so you don't have to, you know, pay ridiculous amounts for mods if you're an end-of-the-line vehicle, and also research them at the same time. When I started researching this thing, it was an end-of-the-line vehicle, right? Which meant that you were just awful in the machine for the vast majority of it. I actually grinded this thing until I got the DM63 on it, which took like 100 battles with the damn thing, and I just got sick of it. And I decided just to put it to a side because I just did not want to play it anymore. I did like the hard graft, getting the mods that it needed, and I was just done. It took me 197 battles to spade this thing. 198 kills, so basically 1 kill a match, a few air kills, and 159 deaths. 49% win rate. Awful statistics in a vehicle that is supposed to get better over time. To give you an idea of a similar vehicle to this and the way that it's set up and how the modifications make such a difference, in the Magak Hydra, which is something we talked about before, 72 battles, 46% win rate, so horrific win rate, but that's all my Israeli vehicles. But we went for a 2.5 to 1 KD, meaning that in a lot of the games we were doing okay with either the rockets or with the gun itself. But the CM11, the best you can do is try and trade and then spawn in the ZTZ96 and just try and do work in it. And as a second spawn vehicle, don't even bother with this thing because it's just so heavy you won't be able to get to the positions you need to get to before you just get hammered in the face. This one is just so bad, and it is artificially put at this BR because they decided to give it a round so it wouldn't be a 9-0. This thing, if you remove that DM63 round, easily is a 9-0, might even be an 8-7. And if you actually put this reload back to where it should be and then remove that round, it's easily an 8-3, 8-7, because the platform is awful for a vehicle. This is terrible. Don't bother. Don't worry about it. Don't even think that it exists. Just understand that if you even touch this thing, you will be cursed. The ZTZ88s are so much better than this vehicle. They feel so much nicer. The ZBD04A is funner. The PTL02, the AFT09. China has so many amazing vehicles around here. Even the TTS, once you get it, you know, up to spade. The MBT 2000, the ZTZ96A. All of these things are really fun. But this one just sticks out like a spear in the eye. Don't even bother with it. You'll just waste your time. Stop adding upgraded M60 platforms. For the love of God, just stop it. I'd just like to thank Tullio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pieman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Alan Hacker, Ozzy Panzer, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Cam Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.